How's it going, guys? This is your boy LP with Lorenzo P Photography, and I just want to kick some truth to you guys, man. When they say that God works in mysterious ways, I firmly believe it. And people try to look for proof all the time, but the proof is in the pudding, man. They look for proof and look for evidence of God. Listen, man. God is all around us. The fact that we live in this world, the fact that we're conscious, the fact that we have emotions, the fact that, we lean on nature, nature leans on us, it just shows the divine greatness and the power that God possesses. There are still things that we don't understand. And, getting back to God working in mysterious ways, I've been shown this over and over and over again, and the blessings that he blessed me with are unimaginable, man. There's been times I had no money. There's been times I've been down and out, and every single time I get in those positions, he always does something. Something happens where everything changes. Everything starts to work accordingly. Even when it seemed like I'm going left, one thing can switch and I'm back on the right track. God puts people in your lives. They say that God speaks to his people. I firmly believe it. There was a time where I was in a very dark space in my life. I was in a dark place, dark space, whatever you want to call it. It was just, a world of negativity. It was a world of hurt, heartache, and pain. I lost 6 family members in the course of 2 weeks. That was devastating, and I hated the job that I was working at. When I say I don't use the word hate. I think hate is it's a very powerful emotion, yet it's a negative one. And it doesn't matter if the emotion is a positive or negative. The universe responds to it. God responds to it. And it seems like things were progressively getting worse. And what I had to understand that things have to be bad in order for them to get good. You have to be in the dark to see the light. You have to be left in order to go right. There's so many things that I had to discover, but I'll tell you guys this. So, like I said, I was in a very dark place in my life. It was very, very trying and turbulent time in my life. And one day I was getting off of work, and a guy called me. I get a call from Illinois. Now I'm based here in Jersey City, and I get a call from Illinois. I wasn't gonna answer the call because it was late at night. I was getting off of work. I was tired. I was drained. And I'm just saying to myself, who is this calling me at 9 o'clock at night? Whatever time it was. I believe it was 7:30, 8 o'clock. I really don't remember, but I got a call from Illinois, and I answered it, and the guy said, "Is this Lorenzo?" I said, "Yes, speaking." And he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm speaking to you." And I'm just saying to myself, like, what's going on? And then the guy then proceeds to tell me that he's a photographer, and he was literally about to quit photography. But he was on Facebook on a photography blog, and someone said to him, "Before you quit photography, you should check this guy's workout," which was, he was referring to me. So he went on my website, he checked out some of the things that I was doing, and he pretty much called me to tell me I saved his photography career. And I said, "What?" He was like, "Lorenzo, I cannot thank you enough." He was like, "You saved me. I was on the verge of quitting and giving up, but looking at your work, I became so inspired." And that phone call changed my life. I can't even remember the guy's name. I can't remember, exactly when he called me, but it literally changed the dynamic of what it was that I was going through. I'm saying to myself, I'm going through a dark place, but here it is. It's people that's on the verge of giving up, and to know that I inspired somebody even in that state, it showed me something, and that was a blessing in disguise, because it was revealing something to me. It was basically telling me not to give up, because you're on the right track. You're doing what you're doing. I look at it like this: anytime you're able to inspire someone, anytime you're able to give someone not something of monetary value like money or possessions, but when you can give them a word, when you can give them empowerment through speaking to them and to help them change their life, that's the true power. That's the true essence of what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Money come and goes, but when you change when you change someone's lives, that is an everlasting change. And I know that God has blessed me with the gift to change people's lives, because I see it all over. I see it over and over and over again. You know, He revealed Himself to me, through other people, and you know, I try to help as much as I possibly can. Like I said, I may not always be able to help in monetary value, but I help out in other ways. I apologize about that, guys. I had a drop off, but just to continue on just to add on to what I wanted to say. So the proof is in the pudding, man. And I know there are some people out there that knows exactly what I'm talking about. You guys know, because you've experienced it before. And on the opposite end, I know that there are people out there who say, well, I looked for the signs and I asked God for help and He didn't help me. What you have to ask yourself, did you look hard enough? Did you really analyze? Did you really listen to when God spoke to you? Or if He didn't speak to you directly, did you listen to the people who He sent in your life to speak to you? Did you really listen? I refer to this because I just think it's a great example. I'm sure you guys have saw the movie The Lion King. We all have saw it at some point of our lives. There was a part where Simba, you know, he lost his dad and he was looking for answers. He was looking for signs. He was looking for that glimmer of hope, that security, that blanket, you know. And when he walked to the pond, and the reason why I use this story, because it directly correlates to a point in my life where I lost my dad when I was 9. I'm sure you guys know. And I was looking for the signs. I was looking for the help. I was looking for answers. I was trying to find what God was trying to show me. But there was a point in the movie where Simba walks to the pond and he's looking for answers. He's looking for signs. And, you know, he's looking and he's getting frustrated because he's not seeing anything. And Rafiki, which is represented as a very, very wise individual, he walks up to Simba and he says to Simba, look harder. Look harder. And that's what you have to do. If you feel like you're not getting the results or the answers that you are wishing to see, look harder. Look for the answers, because a lot of times they are right in front of our face. And I cannot make this stuff up. Like I always say, guys, the proof is in the pudding. And I'll give this example. Like I said, these things happen in my life all the time, so I know that they are real. I know that this is a phenomenon that is true. You know, I just believe and I have faith. You know, I've been in transition into jobs, and the last job that I had, it was one of the most amazing jobs that I had. I really flourished. I did so many great things, met so many great people, had a web of support. Like, these people truly love me. And, you know, I was in fear of leaving that job because I knew of the support that I was going to lose. But in hindsight, these people were going to be like family to me in the future. And, you know, so when it was time to leave the job, I was a little reluctant. I was a little hesitant. I was a little scared. But you know what? God was setting me up. I started to see the number 1111 a lot. And I know the reason why I started to see the numbers, because it was preparing me. The number 1 represents a new beginning, the start of something new. And the fact that I've seen it in a sequence of 4 is my life path number. So the fact that I've seen the 1, 4 different times, there's a representation, there's a meaning, there is a divine message there. And the more I started to look for the messages, I started to see God was telling me, you're ready. Get ready for your next pursuit in life, your next journey. I did some jobs that I didn't want to do. I hated my last job. I don't even want to go into the last job that I worked, but just know that I hated. I hated going there. I hated the energy there. People didn't see me the same. People didn't look at me. I had to experience the polar opposite. I had to experience the dark side in order to experience the light side. And you know, in between the jobs, I just said to myself, I had enough of that job. And what I did was I started to to do Lyft. I was a little reluctant to do that, but I noticed the moment I started to do Lyft, guess what? The messages started to come to me. They started to come. More and more people talking to me, telling me about their problems, and it was like a reliever to not only hear the problems and help them and medicate them through words, power, and inspiration. They started to do the same thing to me. People over and over would say to me, Lorenzo, have you ever thought about public speaking? Ironically, this is something that I always wanted to do, and I don't find it a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't find it a coincidence that I keep coming across people who say the same thing. Lorenzo, this is crazy. Have you ever thought about public speaking? Have you ever thought about speaking in front of a panel of people? I get this all the time. So I know that God is telling me and directing me to do something. I know it because I feel it is something that resonates within me. But to make a long story short, I was in Edison, New Jersey. I had a drive to Edison, New Jersey. When I got out to Edison, New Jersey, had a drive that brought me further south. So I'm deep in some towns where it's farms, it's cows. I don't know where the hell I am. And it died down a little bit, and I sat and I talked with my wife for a little bit, and then out of nowhere I get a call. So I get excited, I go to the call, and the dude, first thing he said to me, he's like, dude, you got here so fast. He was like, normally when I call a driver, it takes them about 30 to 40 minutes because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I said, ironically, I was in the area, I just dropped off a passenger, and this is how I got to you so fast. But anyway, we go into this long spill. It was amazing. It was an amazing conversation. We go into this long spill, and he says to me, he's like, Lorenzo, he's like, have you ever thought about public speaking? Boom, there we go. Another sign, another message, another person that God is working through to tell me you're on the right direction, but keep pushing forward. And I'll tell you, this was the big aha moment for me when I dropped the passenger off, right? I dropped him off. And literally after I dropped him off, I drive around the corner from the train station where I dropped him off, and I see a huge billboard that says, you are on the right track. How coincidental is that? I'm telling you guys, there's no such thing as coincidences. Don't believe it. Believe that there's something that it's trying to tell you. You just need to figure out what it's trying to tell you. That's our job, our mission, our duty is to figure out the life purpose. And when you follow it, when you walk that path, things become so clear. Things make much more sense. You're no longer at odds with yourself. You are at more peace. You are at more harmony. And these are the things that we need to be more attentive to and more conscious of. Be conscious that you need to be in harmony with yourself, because when you are in harmony with yourself, everything just works. It just magically works, because that's how God designed it. If you're looking for a reference, if you're looking for proof, look at nature. Look how nature just works. It's self-healing, it's self-promoting, it's self-everything that you can imagine. Just look at nature as a reflection. It's teaching you something. It's teaching you. So guys, be mindful of this. I'm done with my spill. If you want the signs, just look for them. And if you can't see them, ask for them. Just ask God to help you see the signs, help you recognize them. That's what I want to say. Ask God to help you recognize the signs, and I promise you, I can assure you, you will start to see the signs. That's it. It's your boy LP with Lorenzo P Photography closing out. Peace.